Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. Today, we're going to get into mental toughness. And to help us with that, we have this ebook, Championship Mindset by Greg Stanback.
Yeah. You know what I like about this one is Stanback has actually walked the walk. I mean, he coached a team with just 8 players.
Oh, wow.
And still took them to a championship. So this is not just theory, it's battle tested.
Yeah, that's amazing, like a sports movie or something. So, all right, our mission today is to really pull out the best strategies that we can all use from Stanback's playbook, to level up our own mental game.
For sure. And I think a good place to start is actually by busting some myths. Like the idea that mental toughness is just for certain types of people, or that you're either born with it or you're not.
Yeah, you see these athletes, they seem unbreakable.
Right.
But Stanback says that's actually not the case. Mental toughness is more like a skill, something you develop.
Yeah, not just something you have.
Right.
It's a muscle you build.
Right, like any muscle, you got to work it out, got to train it. So Stanback lays out these 7 steps, kind of like a workout routine for your mind.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's get into that routine. Step 1 is all about defining your goal and your purpose. He's really big on having a strong why.
Yeah, that's huge. It's like your fuel. Especially when you hit those inevitable roadblocks, that why is what keeps you going.
Right, because everybody hits those roadblocks. I mean, that's just life, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And it can't just be any goal, right? I mean, he's saying it has to be something that really matters.
Yeah, something you're truly passionate about, something that lights you up. What are you willing to really push yourself for, That's where the power comes from.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so you've got that goal, you've got the why. What's next?
All right, step 2 is all about looking inward. Stanback calls it assessing your current state of mind.
Okay.
It's like taking stock, like checking your mental inventory before you head into a big game.
I like that.
Yeah.
So how do we go about doing a mental inventory?
Well, he actually talks about how he used to adjust his coaching style based on his own mental state that day.
Interesting.
So being aware of your own mental patterns, the good ones, the not so good ones.
Oh, so you're really understanding yourself.
That's right. Because that's going to inform how you approach everything else.
So it's not just about your goals, it's about you.
Exactly.
You're kind of recognizing, okay, am I somebody that gets easily discouraged? Do I thrive under pressure? What is my...
Wait, what are your tendencies?
Yeah, what are my tendencies? Okay, that's interesting. So then that sets the stage for his next step, which is developing a growth mindset.
Right.
Now, we hear a lot about growth mindset these days, but how does Stanback apply that to mental toughness?
He says it's actually like the foundation for it all.
Oh, wow.
It's about seeing challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, not as threats.
Okay.
And that's a big shift for a lot of people.
So it's like instead of getting totally bummed out by mistakes, you're like, okay, that was a stepping stone.
Exactly. Imagine you're in a race and you stumble. Right.
Yeah.
Do you give up? Or do you use that to adjust your stride, Analyze what happened, come back stronger. That's growth mindset in action.
It's like fall down 7 times, get up 8.
That's it.
Okay. Now, how does that tie into step 4, which is about practicing resilience and focus?
So once you have that growth mindset, then you need the tools to stay focused and resilient when those challenges inevitably come up.
Because they will.
Oh, yeah.
He talks about problem-solving skills and the ability to stay calm when things get really intense. But he also...
It's not just about gritting your teeth and pushing through.
No, there's more to it than that.
Okay.
He talks about things like meditation and yoga.
Oh, wow.
Because those can really help you develop that inner calm and focus.
So it's about being present, not just powering through it, huh?
Exactly. And he also says taking breaks is important too.
Okay.
It's not about pushing yourself to the point of burnout.
It's about knowing when you need to rest and recharge so you can come back even stronger.
I like that. It's like this balance between pushing yourself, but also giving yourself some grace.
Yeah.
It's not about being superhuman. It's about being strategic.
Right.
Okay, cool. So then his next step, step 5, it's about positive self-talk and visualization.
Yeah.
I mean, we hear these terms a lot, right? But how does Stanback really apply them to building mental toughness?
He takes it a bit deeper. He talks about how our thoughts really shape our reality.
Okay.
And how we can choose to focus on thoughts that support our goals and our dreams. So it's not just about repeating affirmations. It's about consciously replacing those negative thought patterns with more empowering ones.
Oh, so you're rewiring your thinking.
That's it. And that's where visualization comes in.
Okay.
He talks about creating vivid mental pictures of yourself achieving your goals, like making a movie in your mind where you succeed.
Okay, so you're training your mind to believe you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like giving yourself a sneak peek of what success feels like, and that can really boost your confidence and your motivation.
So you've got your why, you're aware of your mental patterns, you got that growth mindset, you're practicing resilience and focus, you're using positive self-talk and visualization. What's next?
Now, all of that is great, but it doesn't mean much without consistency.
Right.
Step 6 is all about staying consistent and celebrating the small wins along the way. It's about building habits that support your mental game.
This is where, like, the rubber meets the road, right? It's not just a one-time thing.
Exactly. It's about showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it, and celebrating those small victories.
Yeah.
Because that reinforces that sense of accomplishment.
It's like, enjoy the journey, not just the destination.
Right.
Okay, so I like that. All right, then he brings us to his final step, step 7, which is reflection and adjustment.
Yeah.
So it's not just about setting a plan and then, like, blindly following it. It's about checking in and seeing how things are going.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about being honest with yourself.
Right.
Recognizing what's working, what's not working.
Oh, so being flexible.
Exactly. And remembering that this whole journey of building mental toughness is ongoing,
Yeah.
There are going to be ups and downs, but the key is to just keep learning and keep moving forward.
So it's not about being perfect. It's about being adaptable.
That's it.
Okay, so we've covered a lot here with Stand Back's 7 steps. But, we all know developing this kind of mental toughness, it's not always easy.
Right. It's not a smooth ride.
Yeah, so we're going to get into those bumps in the road, those challenges, and we'll see what Stand Back has to say about dealing with them. After a quick break, we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back, and we're still digging into Greg Standback's championship mindset. We've got his 7 steps, but now let's talk about what happens when you hit those bumps in the road.
Yeah, he actually has a whole section in the book on troubleshooting.
Oh, that's good.
Like when you hit that wall and you need to kind of adjust your game plan, it's like having a coach in your corner, anticipating those struggles.
Because we all have them, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, staying motivated, that can be a real challenge.
It is.
So what does Standback say about those times when you just feel like giving up?
Well, he reminds us that motivation, it's not like a constant thing.
Right.
It comes and goes. It's not about feeling like you're on fire all the time.
Yeah.
It's about having strategies to reignite that fire when you need it.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you kickstart your motivation when it's stalled?
He says go back to your goals.
Okay.
Remember those SMART goals, the specific, measurable, achievable, all that.
Right. Yeah.
When you're feeling lost, those concrete targets can really help get you back on track.
It's like a roadmap. Right.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so you're reminding yourself where you're headed and why.
Right, and he also mentions visualization again here.
Okay.
Picture yourself achieving those goals. Feel that satisfaction.
Oh, so you're tapping into the emotion behind it.
That's right. That can be a powerful motivator.
Okay, I can see that. Now, another big one is stress, right? Feeling overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah.
So how does Standback say we should handle those pressure cooker moments?
Well, his whole thing is about building stress resilience.
Okay.
He's big on incorporating stress reduction techniques into your daily routine.
Yeah.
Things like mindfulness, deep breathing, even just stepping away from your desk for a few minutes.
So it's not about, like, eliminating stress altogether, which is probably impossible.
Right.
But it's about equipping yourself to handle it.
Exactly. And he also says, break down those overwhelming tasks into smaller chunks.
Okay, classic advice, but it works, right?
It does, yeah. It's like, how do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
Exactly, one step at a time.
And sometimes you need more than just techniques, right?
Right.
You need support.
He talks about the importance of reaching out for help when you need it.
Okay.
A mentor, a coach, a therapist, even just a friend. Talking it out can give you that fresh perspective you need.
It's like a sounding board.
Exactly.
All right. So then, setbacks.
Yeah.
Everybody faces them, but they can be really tough when you're trying to build this kind of mental toughness.
They can.
What's Standback's take on bouncing back from failure?
Well, this is where that growth mindset we talked about earlier really comes in.
Okay.
He says, see failures as opportunities to learn. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I do differently next time?
Because it's so easy to just get down on yourself when you fail.
It is, yeah.
But he's saying turn that negative energy into something positive.
Right. It's about shifting your perspective from blame to curiosity.
Okay.
And remember, stay committed to your goals.
Even when it's tough.
especially when it's tough. And be kind to yourself. He talks a lot about self-compassion.
Oh, that's so important.
It is. We're all human. We all make mistakes. It's about learning from them and moving on.
So it's not about being perfect. It's about getting back up.
That's right. So he finishes the book with this really interesting challenge.
Oh, yeah, the 90-day challenge.
Yeah, this is where you put all this theory into practice. Commit to 90 days of actively building your mental toughness.
Okay, so you're taking his steps and making them your own.
That's it. And to inspire us, he shares the story of how he coached a team with only 8 players.
Yeah, I love that story.
To a championship.
It's amazing.
It just shows you, even when the odds are stacked against you,
Yeah.
the right mindset can make all the difference.
It's about believing in yourself, never giving up. So as we wrap up our deep dive into Stanback's championship mindset, he has this line in the book that really stuck with me.
Okay?
He says, it's a choice between being the dominator or the dominated. What do you think he means by that?
Wow, that's a powerful statement. I think he's saying we have the power to choose our mindset.
Oh.
We can let fear and doubt control us, or we can choose to be strong, to be resilient.
So it's about taking ownership of your mental game.
Exactly. Are you going to let challenges define you, or are you going to use them to become even stronger?
It's about embracing that champion mindset. So as we move into the final part of our deep dive, I want you all to think about that. Are you the dominator or are you the dominated? Okay, so we're back, and it's time to wrap up our deep dive into Greg Stanback's championship mindset. We've covered a lot, those 7 steps, the challenges, but now it's about what we take away from all this.
Right, like how do we actually use this stuff in our lives?
Exactly. So if somebody's listening and they're like, all right, I'm ready to build this championship mindset, what's like the first thing they should do?
I'd say go back to that first step. Define your why. What's the real reason behind your goal? Like, what's driving you? Having that clear purpose, it's like your fuel.
Yeah, like your compass.
Exactly.
Keeps you going in the right direction. And then once you know where you're going, it's about that growth mindset.
Yeah, seeing challenges as opportunities to learn, not as failures. You know, setbacks, they're just feedback. They're not the end of the story.
It's about embracing the whole journey, right? The ups, the downs, knowing that all those experiences are shaping you.
Right. They're making you stronger.
Okay, and don't forget those tools for managing stress. Find what works for you, whether it's mindfulness or breathing exercises, or even just taking a break.
Right. Have those strategies ready for when things get intense.
And, you know, it's okay to ask for help, too.
Absolutely.
Don't try to do it all alone.
Yeah.
A mentor, a coach, a friend, whoever you trust.
Talking it out can really help.
Okay, and then what about that positive self-talk? How do we make that a habit?
Well, it's about challenging those negative thoughts and replacing them with more empowering ones. It's like you're creating this highlight reel in your mind of you succeeding.
Okay, so you're training your mind to believe it.
Right, and that can really boost your confidence.
And remember, consistency is key, right?
Yeah.
It's not a one-time thing.
It's about building those habits, showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it.
And celebrate those small wins along the way, no matter how small they seem.
Absolutely. Give yourself credit for the progress you're making.
And then that last step, reflection and adjustment. How do we make sure we're on track?
It's about checking in with yourself regularly, being honest about what's working and what's not.
Okay, so being flexible.
Exactly. And remember, this journey of building mental toughness, it's ongoing.
Yeah, there's no finish line.
Right. It's about continuing to grow and evolve.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Greg Stanback's championship mindset, I want to go back to that line he had in the book.
Oh, yeah.
It's a choice between being the dominator or the dominated.
Such a powerful statement.
It really is. And I think he's saying we have the power to choose our mindset, right?
Absolutely. Are we going to let fear control us, or are we going to choose strength, resilience?
We have that choice. So we hope this deep dive has given you some tools and some inspiration to start building that championship mindset for yourselves. And for those who want to learn more, we've got links to Greg Stanback's book and social media in the show notes. Until next time, keep diving deep.